Hello, Ashley. This will be some week 3 feedback, and I'll begin with a discussion on ethics and copyright. I'll also include feedback on your masking exercise, and then your first try at compositing or composing a page. I agree with you about the image or the Frank Davidovich ad, and I don't know how to, I don't speak French, but I'm assuming it's something like Fête d'Hiver. But I didn't realize, or I had forgotten, that it was part of a larger banality series. And now that you mention that, I recollect a photograph of an elderly couple with a bunch of dogs, puppies, also based on a photograph. So I think his argument is actually weaker in the fact that, not only was he involved in these other lawsuits, but he really didn't change the details significantly. If it was just the Fête d'Hiver, I might buy his argument of parody. He did change the face of the model from the NAF ad to be that of an ex-wife. He made some important substitutions, I think, in the iconography of the original ad or photograph that might have qualified or just squeaked by, the 20% change rule, which is kind of overruled or countered or negated by a line that follows it in copyright law. At any rate, it raises a lot of discussions. I think we all need to take a look at our images, where we find them in light of this discussion about ethics and copyright. And I think Ferry, his where he went wrong is in destroying part of his process. So, keep your records, your process records, in all of your classes as well as your projects. Ashley, this is your 2-1 exercise, and it looks like you silhouetted or masked a amethyst crystal. So let me zoom out of that. And it looks like you have a layer with the original on it attached to a very competent mask. Looks pretty nice and detailed. One of the things about perspective is that things get fuzzier in the back. And so you might want to soften that somehow. I think it's a good sharp edge for the things that are in focus in the foreground. Just a suggestion. And learning to feather a mask, I think, is a very useful skill. But you've got the requirements of this first exercise down, and I look forward to seeing how you use it in your ads. Ashley, one thing I forgot to look at was the image size. And so I'm going to, off screen here, go to image size. Yeah, I see it's 8 by 10 at 300. It looks like it'll be high enough resolution. Ashley, this is your 2-2 exercise, the layered Illustrator file. And the preview that Illustrator builds for it is actually a small PDF or JPEG, and so it will show the silhouette that you imported. But when I open it, let's just see whether you embedded or linked. Okay, so here it says that it's missing a linked file. So it's important to understand the difference between linking and embedding. I'm just going to click through this, ignore. I see that you've got each of the requisite layers. That's layer 3, I'm assuming, is the silhouetted photo. Layer 2 is the vector logo, and layer 1 rather is the solid fill. Okay, so what I'm going to try to do is show you how to embed an image. This is the linked image, which I do not possess, or if I do, it's probably in another folder somewhere. And I want to highlight that layer, file, place. And then I've got this from Michelle Burbank, I think, in this class. Now, this is really important. Make sure that this is not selected, okay? You don't want it linked. You want it embedded. this is such a small little feature on the interface, but it's so important to know. So make sure that this is not selected. Go ahead and put place, and there it is. And you can size it up. Now, there's a big difference here. A linked file will have an X through it. Okay, a embedded image will not. So that's one way you can tell. Okay, and you can scale it up or down. Now that's using Michelle's image. Presumably, I would be able to use your mask of the amethyst. So try it out.